Welcome back to what I'm hoping will be the grand finale of getting the old Forte roadworthy once more. We got several things to do. Got to get the motor back in there, a lot of other stuff. Let us not dilly-dally. Let us get busy. Yes, sir, my goal for this week is to be done with this car. Not completely, because, you know, there's lots of other stuff to do, but right now, yes, sir. Let's get this thing on the road. I'm tired of working on it. I want to drive it. If you recall, last week, we got to do some work on the intake. We got to drill these out, tap them to the next size up. Hopefully they will quit leaking. Also, we discussed PCV. Well, I've decided we'll just use these valve covers I got over here. They got holes in them for PCV and a breather. We'll use these on something else. I really like them, but can't use them. Well, I could, but I don't want to do what we discussed. I just don't want to. Also, water pump spacers will be here tomorrow. I got 1/8 inch, hoping, moving this out 1/8 inch won't throw me off too bad on my belts. Got to do freeze plugs. I just realized that we got to put the fuel pump push rod and this plate on, and then the fuel pump, clutch, flywheel, got to do all that. I think, though, let's start with this intake. Get these two holes here fixed, hopefully. Got to go to Mama's because I don't have any drill bits big enough for this. So let's head over there and get that fixed firstly, hopefully. All right, we're going to take these two holes out to 3/4 pipe thread. And hopefully that's going to stop these leaks. It takes a 59/64 drill bit, according to this chart. And that is 921 thousandths. I don't have that size drill bit. Closest thing I got is the 7/8, which is 875. We're gonna drill her out, and I'm gonna run that tap in there. Hopefully, that'll work, and I don't have to have the right drill bit. We'll see. Let me set it up on the drill press real quick. Let's get this first hole drilled out, and we'll see if that tap will run in there. Hopefully, it will. This may not work. That drill bit may be too small. I do not know. You don't want to grab. Well, it has started. And whether or not I can finish, I don't know. But it's pretty hard to turn. Let me work with it. I'll be back. Whew. Well, I managed to get some threads in it. They're not pretty, no sir. What I had to do was take this impact here with a socket on my tap and just jam it in there. Hopefully that'll seal. This one here, I think I'm gonna leave it alone because those threads look fine. We'll put some extra tape on it, and well, I may try to find something better to seal the threads with. But I think this will do. Let's head on back to the house, and well, we'll continue to do stuff. Well, here's the deal. I've been on the interwebs for the last hour or so trying to figure out how in the world can I keep those script valve covers. And I want to keep the old look. This is sort of roughly loosely the 350 horse 327 that we're building. And I want to keep the old look with those script valve covers and this here and all that. I've been thinking about maybe drilling a hole in the intake back here, putting the PCV valve there. If you flip this intake over, it'll be coming out approximately here. We got these two ribs, and I might could build me a cover like up here, come over here, and then go back down, and let that be sort of the baffle, keep us from sucking in a bunch of earls. Let me think about that, because I think that's what I'm gonna do. For now, though, let's go over here and put some freeze plugs in, and then I think we'll probably bolt that intake up temporarily, no gaskets or anything. That way we can get it off the stand, get the flywheel and clutch on it, and we might set this thing in here in just a little bit. I'm gonna clean this area up here with some sanding paper. It's got some paint on it, and I'm afraid that RT and V won't stick. So we're gonna clean it up a little bit before I put a freeze plug in it. Put me a little bit of RT and V on the outside of this here. Help seal the wooters so it does not leak on us. Then you stick her in there just like that right there. Get you a hammer and a socket that'll just barely fit inside of that freeze plug. Then you go to whooping on it. I like for them to be just below the surface of the block right there. I've made a mess on my orange paint. So let me wipe that off and then we'll do this one right over here. All right, let's get this one right here in. All right, I think that'll do. Let me wipe this excess off. I will continue to do the rest of them. When I get them done, I'll be back. Well, we got all the freeze plugs in. Got my clutch, flywheel, bell housing, starter, motor mounts. Got all that torque down. We got the intake on just temporarily with a couple of bolts on either side. I've put everything on that I can. So I reckon let's get on over here and we'll put it in the car. All right, let's see if we can get her dropped home down in there without tearing anything up. Hopefully it won't. Going down. Trying to miss that brake master cylinder. Hold up, hold up! All right, let me go back a little bit. Up! Go on down, man, go on down. Now we going back. I'm over the motor mounts. Let's go on down with it. There's one. Let's see if I can get that other in. I'm gonna let this down. Hopefully it'll sit there because I need to raise it up and get that jack under the bell housing like we did when we pulled it. See if she'll sit there. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Well, let me raise it up real quick. All right, let's see if we can get this here jacked up, held in place. That's probably good enough right there. Let me get my Motree mounts on. Then I think we're going to stick the transmission in real quick. Motor mounts bolted in. Let this down a little bit. Let's see if we can get the old transmission in there. Heave ho! Heave ho! Oh yeah, get in there! Ooh. Come on now, get in there. Oh yeah, we just went. Oh, and yeah. Well, we managed to get the motor and the transmission bolted in, so that's pretty doggone good. I think I'm gonna call it a day. My knee's hurting, and I don't want to do anymore. So I think we will proceed to continue tomorrow because we still got a whole lot more to do. See y'all later. Well, I have managed to get everything done under here except for the old driving shaft. So let me get that in, bolt it up. We'll lower and we'll start working on the motor, getting it put together. All right, I got that torque alert. Let's go up top, do a little work. All right, here's what we need to do up top. I think we'll put the power steering pump on first, then the alternator, water pump, and I'm gonna wait and put the fuel pump on because where is it? Over in the floor somewhere. It's still got the fuel line that comes up here. I got to pull that intake back off, so we'll wait on the fuel pump. But I did get my water pump spacers. They're right here. Y'all look at them. They about an 1/8 inch thick. I believe that'll be just fine and dandy. If it throws our pulleys off, all you got to do is knock that back 1/8 of an inch, and everything should be a-okay. Let's get the power steering pump on first. All right, let me see if we can get this bolt in this hole right here. Come on now. Get up in there. All right, got that on. Let me get the alternator next, see if I can get this socket off there. All right, that's stuck. So that's good. Oh-de-doo-da-day. All right, this should be really, really fun because we got 4 whooshers as spacers to install. And I don't remember if they went in the front or the back. Let me line it up here real quick to see. Yep, they went in the back. All right. Oh yeah. Well, I don't understand. Ta-da! That went pretty easily, actually. Got everything RT and V'd. Let's see if these spacers are going to do the job or not. Hopefully they will. That one there is too long, so let me back it out and put some whooshers on it. That one there is too. If I use the next shorter bolt, it's too short. All right, let's see if this will take up enough space. Oh yeah. We got plenty of space. That bolt head there may barely be touching. But you know what? I ain't going to worry about it. Let me get the fan and pulley on. Let's see how everything lines up. All right, let me see how well we're lined up, and I'll put them other 2 bolts in. You can definitely tell it's out of line. I don't really like that either. But the power steering pulley is out. Also, did I have spacers behind that? I want to say I did. I think we got somebody doing a burnout behind the house. What in the devil? Anyway, I can definitely tell that it's out of line. Let me give me a straight edge to put up there. Yeah, the alternator's out quite a bit. Here's what we can do. It's pretty simple. You can buy shims for that bottom pulley. And then we put shims behind these bolts on the power steering pump, move it out. And then this here, it's got adjustment. We slide it out, and then we might have to put a different spacer here. No big deal. Let me go ahead and try to find some spacers for that bottom pulley. And we shall proceed to continue. We'll pull the intake off and go to working on it. You know, we got to do the PCV and all that stuff. We'll just keep on trucking, putting stuff back together. Well, I decided let's go ahead and get these pulleys lined up best we can. I have fought with this alternator for 30 minutes. It was cockeyed and twisted, and well, it wasn't very good. And finally got that situated. Well, I went to tighten this bolt up, and I stripped these aluminum threads out. I think that's a requirement on a GM alternator at least. Just when you put a new alternator on, just go ahead and strip that bolt out and then drill it out to the next size up, and you'll be all right then. Anyway, that's what I had to do there, strip that out. So I drilled and tapped it for 3/8. Then I take my die grinder and grind this bracket out so that 3/8 bolt will fit in there. But she's lined up pretty good now. I think what we'll do next is let's space the crank pulley out with washers. I think it'll be good enough. It's just a pulley. So let me pull that off, and it looks like it's probably going to take 2 washers. So let's try that and see what that looks like real quick. Well, I put 1 washer behind that crank pulley, and I put the belt on the alternator, and I tell you what, y'all probably can't tell, but she looks pretty doggone straight to me. Yes, it sure does. I think I'll leave that. The only issue is, you know, on that crank pulley, the center of it centers on the balancer, the dampener. We can't use it anymore, you know, because we got it spaced out. So I'm going to have to be careful to make sure our pulley ain't oscillating and wobbling like that. Hopefully we can get it lined up good enough. Think that's good. Let me put me, it's probably going to take 2 washers behind the power steering mount. Let me do that real quick and we'll see what that looks like. I put 2 washers behind each bolt on the power steering pump there. Y'all look at this right here. Y'all look at this. It can't line up no better than that. Look at that right there. Oh, it's just perfect. Yes, sir. Let me finish putting the front end on this, the fan, belts, and all that kind of stuff. Then I reckon we'll pull it intake off and go to doing stuff to it. Ode to the joys of modifying vehicles. Oh, yeah. If you modify one thing, you're going to have to modify 10 different things. That's just how it goes. I was really hoping, you know, I could get away with an 1/8 inch spacer, not have much trouble. And it probably would have been okay. I just didn't like how it looked. So I decided, well, let's just go ahead and space everything out. Get it like it's supposed to be. Also, I had to drill me a hole up here for another pop-in wire tie because she was dangerously close to this fan on the alternator. Knowing my luck, MLS, it had grabbed this and yanked all the wires out and set it on fire and burnt the car down. And didn't want that. So anyway, got that fixed. Front end is on. It's done. Let's pull this intake off and see what we can do about a PCV valve. All right, here's the deal with the PCV. I looked for a smaller grommet a little while ago, a smaller OD. Couldn't find one. This one here is 1.25 inches. We're going to put her approximately right there. Well, it's 1.220 inches, you know, and 1/4 is 250. What I'll do is, this is 1.964 inches. It's the biggest one I got other than 1.25 inches. This is 140 thousandths. So we'll have to take a die grinder and waller our hole out a little bit so this fit, because, you know, I want it to fit tight. If I drill it out to 1.25 inches, it'll be too big. So anyway, I got it punch marked where I'm gonna start drilling. I'm gonna drill the first few holes by hand. Then when it comes time to this, we'll have to get over there on the drill press. I got my first hole drilled already because I forgot to turn the camera on. This drill's a pile of junk. All right, that is, I think, 3/4. Yep. Let's see if I can find a 1 inch that'll fit in that chuck. Will it drill it? Probably not. Let me put her on high torque, see what that does. Probably break my wrist. Now, I don't know exactly how I'm going to drill this on that drill press. Let me think about this a minute. We may have to just go ahead and use the die grinder for the rest of the way. Upon further investigation, there really was no easy way or good or safe way to drill this in that big drill press. Well, you saw how that little drill was jerking and grabbing. Well, if I'd have put it in that big drill press and it grabbed, it would have probably broke my arm. I'm not too keen on that. So I'll come back home, got my Christmas tree drills out, drilled her out to 1 1/8 inches, and look at here. The grommet fits, and watch this right here. So does the PCV valve, if I can get it in there. Oh yeah, look at there. So we ain't gonna have to do nothing with no die grinder. That'll work just fine and dandly. It's a good tight fit. That means it won't be leaking. Now what we got to do is flip it over, and we gotta make some kind of a baffle from here to here to cover this up so we ain't sucking in earls. Probably ain't gonna do that now. Matter of fact, we're probably gonna call it a day. I got to head to town, run around to Lowe's and Walmart and this and that. So tomorrow we'll pick this up, we'll make this baffle, and then we gotta look at our carbs. Remember, the middle carb, it ain't got much of a pump shot, and then the back carb, which one was it? I don't remember. But the butterflies are leaking air just a little bit, causing, basically a vacuum leak. So we got to look at that. Tomorrow, I think we can fire the old girl up, possibly drive it down the road. We'll just have to wait and see. I will see y'all tomorrow, though. Tis the next day again, and as you can see, I'm working on the baffle. I got about half of it done. I got a little 90-degree bend there. We're just gonna screw it to this little rib right here. And I gotta make a mark over here and bend it, cut it. We might have to trim it in here, possibly up in here. Let me get this marked and bent, get this done. Got the other side marked, got it in my brake press here. Let's do some bending. Hopefully it's right. If not, we'll have to flatten it out and do it again. Let's see if that'll fit. I got to do some trimming. I done made a mark there, but I don't think that's exactly right. So I think we need to bring her on down here. Something like that. Let me cut some of that off. And we need to cut a wee bit right here. We'll cut that corner off. Let me hack on that a little bit. Do it fit now? Almost. I need a little bit right here, a little bit right here in the middle. Let me go ahead and mark it. Approximately in this area here. Chop a little bit of that corner off. I think we need a little bit more off of this edge here. Let me go grind on that. I'll be back. I have trimmed and cut and bent and beat, and I think we got it now. It fits pretty good. The fun part is going to be trying to get something drilled and tapped. This in here, I think we can probably do it, but this one, I might can get right here. I don't know. Let me work on that and see what I can come up with. Now, where's my bigger punch? Punch, where you at, Mr. Punch? Punchy punch. Well, it's gone. I don't know where it went. I had it right here on the table. Okie dokie. Well, this don't beat all I've ever seen. Where did that punch go? I found it! Right here. I got it. Alright. Let's see if we can mess this up real good. Now comes the real fun part. Trying to get this to go in there when you can't get nothing on it. Interesting. Well, I had to resort to vice grips to grab this tap with. It seems to be working. I think we're through. Let me see if I can get this out. And then we'll put a bolt in it. We'll try to do this other side here. All right, I got this other side tapped. You see where it's at. I wanted it in the middle, but it just really wasn't no way to do that. I think this will be all right. Let me get this out and we'll clean the intake up. And then we'll get everything put together. We might go ahead and put it on the car. Got the intake all cleaned up. We can put this little fella on here for hopefully what will be the very last time ever. Putting me a little bit of Loctite on this here bolt with the lock washer. Hopefully this will never come loose, get down in the motor and tear it up. Got that Gooten tight. I don't want to over tighten it and strip the aluminum threads though. There's that. Now, I think that'll work. The only way Earl can really get in is through this crack. I mean, it's got to have a place to breathe, so I think that'll be just fine and dandly. Let me show y'all something though. Yes, sir. This is very disturbing. Here is the timing chain set that came out of the 283. I pulled it off the other day. I had it laying on the table, and I was fixing to put it on the shelf. Picked it up, and I saw that right there. See that crack right above the keyway? Yes, sir. You see it on both sides. Oh yeah. Well, you know, I put my puller on it. I'm gonna pull it off. Well, I saw it moving, so I just pulled it off by hand. I was like, well, that's kind of odd. Then I just happened to look at it a little while ago. Yes, sir. You can see it down in there too. That's not the alarming part. The alarming part is this exact same timing chain set. It's in that motor right there. Sure is. If that one breaks and breaks in half, well, we're going to destroy that motor most likely. Valves are going to hit pistons and you know, telling what's going to happen. So that ain't good. I did look this number up. It's S288. This one here is S289. Apparently that's just the part number for a small block Chevrolet timing set because, well, Cloy's Melling, Comp Cams, and several others came up with that part number. There were only two that looked like this though, with all these holes. One was Melling, one was Comp Cams. I thought this was Comp Cams, but I don't remember. Seemed like I might have bought it on Amazon. I don't remember. I'll go back and look. I'll tell you what, I'll do that. But no matter who made it, if I ever see one made like this, I will avoid it at all costs, because that could cost us a motor. It sure could. I bet you money though. I bet you everything I got. If I had the box this come in, you bet. It's a made in China. You can't get nothing worth crap anymore. Everything you buy now is garbage. That's just it. Anyways, let me get this intake on here, and I think we'll fool with the carburetors a little bit. All right, let's get this El Intako on the old Forteo. Hopefully, I don't mess this up. Oh yeah, look at there. Let me get my bolts. Intake bolts get 25 torque alerts. Let's see if we can get that done. Like I said before, I'll just tighten them up a little at a time. You don't want to jam it all in at once. Clicker. Clicker. Just going over them once more once we get this done. We will try to figure out why this middle carb will not give us a good pump shot. Well, I've been fooling with this carburetor device for at least an hour, probably longer. Trying to figure out why I don't have a pump shot. You know, this one here is the front one, and man, it'll shoot it. Well, you can see it's been shooting it way over at the weld table from here, and this one here, well, it might hit about right in this area here. I've been trying to figure out what's going on. The only thing I can see, there's a little place on the left side here, approximately right there. It's just a little bitty dimple sticking out. If that's all it takes to keep that from doing right, well, that's pretty amazing. I'm gonna get me some sandpaper or something, see if I can't smooth that out, see if that'll fix it. If it don't, well, I got another carb sitting right there. We may clean it up. That's the one that was on the 283 when we was running it on the run stand. It did good, so we may clean it up and use it. I don't know. Let me see what I can do with this right here first. Well, by George, I do believe I got it. It was a little bump, you know, like I said, sticking out. I took this little piece of sanding paper, went down in there with it like that, and got my pinky down in there, and up and down, up and down, up and down. You got her pretty smooth. Well, y'all watch this right here. She's gonna go flying across there. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah, not bad at all. I believe that's got that. I might work on it just a little bit more, but I think we figured it out. Let me put these back together and we'll get them on the car. And dare I say, a couple more hours, we may be firing this thing up. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, I completely forgot about remember the back carburetor, how I could hold my hand over it and it acted like a vacuum leak. It would drop 200 or 300 RPM. Well, I forgot about that. So for the last hour, hour and a half, I've been trying to figure that out. What I have done is, well, I'd stick my flashlight under here and then look here and you could see all the daylight. And it really wasn't a whole lot of daylight that I saw. You know, they don't seal up perfect, but it wasn't a whole lot of daylight I saw. And I just, well, been scratching my head. What, why, what? Huh? What is wrong with it? Well, then it dawned on me, let's look at the other ones and see how they do. I looked at the front one. It shows even more daylight than this one. Well, then I looked at the middle one, the main one, and they were cracked open quite a bit. And I thought, well, that's kind of odd. Well, I backed the idle screw off, and they wouldn't close anymore. And, well, I scratched my head on that for a little while, and I finally realized the accelerator pump rod was holding those bottom blades open. I straightened it up a little bit more, you know, made it longer, basically. Well, that's letting the butterflies close on the main middle carb. And I guarantee you, when we get them back on the car now, it'll idle down. Yep, that's why it was idling up, because they wouldn't close. Now, maybe we will be able to hear potato, 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 potato. Yes, sir. Not tonight, though. I'm aggravated. As you can see, it's almost dark. I've spent way too much time on these carburetors. I'm done with them, fully on them. I'm going in the house. Tomorrow, we're going to drive this car. Rain or shine, sleet or snow. See y'all later. Well, I lied to y'all. I went in the house. I cooled off a little bit. Ate me a sandwich. And I said, let's get back out there. Let's get this thing running. Well, it may not run tonight, but I won't get it close. Well, yeah. We're going to make this thing run tonight. How about that? Tell you what I just did, though. Fixing to put the distributor in it. Took number one spark plug out and put my finger over it. I got my little gun here, starter gun, hooked up. And hit the trigger, had my finger over the hole, and I didn't feel no poof. I was like, uh-oh, what's going on? Took off number, what is this, 2.4, and it about blew my finger off. So come back over here, did it once more, and I wasn't getting no poof. Finally it did. I don't know if maybe the valve or the lifters may need to be pumped up. You know, the valves may not have been opening up, but she's poofing pretty good now. So let me find top dead center, get the distributor in, then we got to put carbs on, fuel pump, fuel lines, radiator, fill it up with waters. What else? Spark plug wires. I'm sure there's other stuff. Anyways, I'm not going to video this. Y'all have seen me do this 100 times. And mainly, I want to turn the radio on and listen to some music. So when I get all this done, I'll be back and we'll fire this thing up. I just thought I'd give you a little update on what all I got done so far. Got it timed. Distributor is in. Plug wires are run. Carburetors are on and hooked up. What else? I think that's it. What do I like? Radiator, hoses, water, fuel pump, fuel lines. Also, when I plugged the battery in a minute ago, you know, so I could turn it over to time it, brake lights were on. The pedal has dropped, I don't know, maybe an inch or so, and it made my brake lights come on. I don't know what's going on there, unless, you know, we got some brake issues. Well, I need a spring on that pedal to keep that from happening, but yeah, we got some brake issues we're going to have to look at tomorrow, though, not tonight. Give me a few minutes, and we'll get the old girl running. Well, we are almost ready to run it. I was putting wooters in it just a minute ago. About 30 seconds after I started doing that, you know, I was using my little pump there. About 30 seconds after I started, well, it started sounding like a cow peeing on a flat rock underneath the car. Scared me to death. Yes, sir, I thought, oh my goodness, I done left the freeze plug out or something like that. Well, I think I left the little 1/8" plugs out of the side of the block on both sides. Let me go over here and see if I got any plugs. I don't think I do. If I do, I'll put them in. If not, well, we're going to run it without it. We just won't run it very long. Well, I stole the plugs out of the old 283 over there under the racks. They'll work. This one here, that's a piece of cake. I can get to it pretty easy. It's right there. This one, though, well, as you can see, that header right in the way. That's going to be a pain. Let me see if I can get this done. We'll let her down and hopefully start it. I've told you all about MLS, haven't I? Well, we're having a battle with it tonight. Yes, sir, we sure are. The threads on those two holes are so rough and nasty that I can't get the plug started. Plus, I ain't really got a whole lot of room over here. Well, I need to run a tap in them And like I just said, I ain't got enough room to even put the plug in, much less run a tap in them. So guess what I'm doing? Yep, taking the headers off. Hopefully that's gonna give me enough room to remedy this MLS Dumas, and then we can proceed to continue to try to get this thing running tonight. Well, as you can see, I was successful in getting the headers loose, and I got my pipe tap up in there. I got her run in about as far as I'm going to. I'm gonna pull her out. Well, if I can find a wrench. I'm gonna pull it out. We're gonna put that plug in. Then we're gonna come over here. Hopefully that'll get out of the way. Well, I don't know that that helped us any on this side. Well, anyway, I'm gonna attempt to do this side too. Put the plugs in, put the water in. Hey, well, I don't know. What time is it? About 6 o'clock in the morning, probably. I'm losing my mind. Let me get this done, and we'll get this thing running. Y'all look here. I got a plug right there. I got a plug over here. Oh yeah, I'm done on here. Next time y'all see me, I'm gonna be hitting the trigger starting this thing. Raise your hand if you're tired of working on this car and you want to get running. Let me give her a drink of the old gasolines. We're gonna give her the old try. Fire in the hole! Wonder if I got that distributor tooth off again. Would not surprise me. They act like there ain't no fire at all. This is very interesting right here. Yeah, we ain't getting no fire at all. This is odd. Let me pull the plug wire, see what's going on. Well, I got my Sparky spark tester right there. Y'all watch and see if you see any flashes. No, sir, we are not getting any spark. That ballast resistor, well, she's looking pretty rough. That's just barely hanging on. Let me check that, because that's liable to be the issue. Well, I'm getting voltages on both sides of the ballast resistor. So that's not the issue, but I think I know what it is. Just hit me. When I was putting the distributor in earlier today, I noticed the little metal piece that sticks up on top of your button there, your rotor. It was all mangled. I thought I straightened it out. Maybe I didn't. Let me pull that cap off, and I don't know if I got another rotor or not. I'll go look and see. If I don't, well, we're going to have to work on that one. I found it. This wire right here on the coil. Normally that needs to be plugged up right there. All right, well, let's go over here and see if we get spark now. It might fire up, but y'all watch and see if we get any spark now. No, sir, we are still, we're still not getting fire. So we got more than one issue. Let me keep looking, see what I can find. Wait a minute. Y'all see this wire right here? It's just like this one right here. It's usually a good idea if you plug it in. So let me plug it in. We'll try this one more time. One more time. Y'all watch and see if we get any spark down there. Oh yeah, I think so, because it tried to start. Let me put y'all on the stand, we'll fire it up. Fire in the hole, once again. Give her a little bit of timing. Give her a little more timing. Good gracious alive, scared me half to death. I bet y'all got the distributor off for tooth. I bet you money I do. Yes, sir. I got the advance as far as it will go, and it still don't want to idle. Well, let me take that distributor out, scoot it around one tooth. I don't know how I do it. I don't know. I think from now on, when I put the distributor in, I'm going to point it at cylinder 3 instead of cylinder 1, and maybe one day I'll get it aimed right. I do it every time. I don't understand it. It was pointing It was pointing right there at number 1. I don't know. Somebody come in here and moved it, I guess. Anyway, let me get this off of here. All right, we're pointing straight. I need to bring it around one more. Clicker. Let's see. That right there ought to do it if I'm down all the way. Yes, sir. Let me tighten her up. See if that don't help us. All right, who's ready to try this for the 984,672nd time? Fire in the hole. Something we're still off. I don't understand this at all. Let me crank it all the way around and see what it does. Let me get my timing light, see what's going on. Timing light's hooked up. Let's see what we got. Well, according to what I saw, we're way advanced. And when I put it where it's supposed to be, you see what it does. So I don't know what's going on. This is very odd. The old CO monitor, she's picking up some stuff. Oh yeah, guarantee you she ain't far from going off. It's gassy in here. We got some issues going on. Let me turn this big fan on, clear it out, and I'll tell y'all what's going on. Well, here's the deal. I finally got it to idle. Yes, sir, sure did. I really had to crank on that idle screw though to get it up high enough. Messed with the timing, and just going by ear is about right because, well, I can't find the timing mark. No, sir, sure can't. I got a theory on that. Well, I took me a piece of soapstone and marked all around where the mark is. Never saw it with a timing light. I'm wondering, when I put that dampener on, I don't recall trying to line it up with a key. So it's very possible that the key fell out of the crank. I didn't realize it. And, well, the dampener is just slipping, or it's just, wherever it wants to be. That's very possible. So we're going to have to investigate that tomorrow. Also, it'll be sitting there idling. It's got a decent, chop to it. Sitting there idling, all of a sudden it'll rev up like somebody blipped the throttle just for about a second. They'll drop back down. Like there's a dead cylinder. It picks up for a little bit and then drops. Well, I got my temp gun out. I don't know where it's at. Over here on the table. And, I aimed it at the headers, each tube. They're all 450 to 500, except for this one here. It's like 650. I don't know why it's so much hotter. Then I got to cylinder 8 over there, and it's 250 degrees. Something going on with that cylinder. We got a half dead cylinder. I'm hoping it's plug or wire, or possibly, valve adjustment. Other than that, I don't know. I'm trying to remember, we had one cylinder that I didn't get bored out all the way. I had that one little strip around the top. I don't remember if it's that or not. I don't think that's an issue because there just wasn't much there left. But you never know. I'm going to go and look at some of the old video and see which cylinder it was. But right now, I'm going in the house. I've been at this about 14 hours. I thought I told y'all a couple weeks ago that I was going to slow down. This ain't slowing down, fellas. My left knee, I can't hardly walk. It hurts so bad. I'm fixing to go in the house. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to eat me something. Edit videos for an hour or two. And by then the sun will probably be coming up. And, well, you know how it goes. Hopefully tomorrow I'm able to walk. And we come out here and figure out what's going on with cylinder 8. Somebody whooped me with a baseball bat last night. Sometime or another. Oh, it ain't that bad, but the old knee, it does hurt. A little more than usual. Ain't nothing I ain't used to, though. I have been doing some stuff trying to make it better. I do believe it's working. Hopefully I can get over it completely. Eventually, I don't know. Time will tell. I do know this. I can't usually stay on this concrete more than about 8 hours a day, or she goes a-hurting. Let me tell you, last night, she was a-hurting. Oh, yeah. I got to remind y'all, sometimes, I am a one-man show. Got to do it all. And, well, I tried to do it all last night, and it got to me. A little bit, anyway. You know, I'm competing for y'all's time with other channels that are a lot bigger than me, and well, they got help, and I just can't get as much done as they do sometimes. I try, but you know, sometimes I just can't. Some of them channels, they probably got a lot of help behind the scenes. They would never admit it. But anyway, that's their business. My business is right here with this old Forte. Give me just a minute, and I'm going to tell you my latest theory on what's going on with number 8 cylinder. Well, I just did some experimentating, and I had a big old theory I was going to tell y'all, but, well, it's been blown out of the water by what I just discovered. Well, first, though, let me show you this right here. I was checking the timer, or attempting to check the time a minute ago just by cranking it over. Well, I can't check my timing anymore. That's the pickup that you put on the spark plug wire. It's a wee bit melted, yes, sir. Fell on the header last night, I didn't know it. So we're going to have to go to O'Reilly's here in a little bit to get a timing light. Also, whilst we're talking about timing, I watched an old video, was it 2 weeks ago? Last week? Whenever we put this motor together. And I saw the key on that crank snout. And I saw myself visually look at it and the damper keyway and twist and turn it till I got them lined up. So pretty sure the key is on there. What might be going on, I don't know if y'all can see it or not. That timing tab covers up almost all of that dampener. So maybe I just can't see our mark due to it being covered up. I'll push that timing tab back a little bit to give me a little more room to see. We'll check that as soon as I get a timing light. But on to the bigger issue of there's something being wrong with cylinder 8. You remember last night when we first started cranking this thing over, it had a lope to it. I don't know if y'all can hear it on the video or not. I think you can. It had a lope to it, like one cylinder had more compression than the other. Well, after I got in the house, I got to thinking about that, and I said, wonder if that's number 8 cylinder got something going on. Possibly the exhaust valve not opening up and causing it to, I don't know. Anyway, I got out here a minute ago, pulled that plug, put my thumb over the hole, and she's got compression, oh yeah. And anyway, put the plug back in, turned it over, and that lope is gone. Well, let me just show you. The lope is gone. Listen. Yes, sir. So apparently, the little Mises and Mices come out here last night. They figured out what was wrong with it and fixed it. I don't know. So that theory is sort of blown out of the water. Maybe it did. You know, maybe it was a lifter issue or something, and it's fixed itself. So we're gonna fire it up right now. And let's just see how it runs. I'll let it warm up. We'll check temperatures on the headers. Hopefully, fingers crossed, let me cross them real good. Hopefully that it's fixed itself and all we gotta do is go get a timing light and time it, and then we'll be done with that. All right, let's see what it does on a cold start. See how easily it starts. Here's a little shot. Not bad. Not bad at all. I see some liquid back here. Is that gas or water? Definitely gas. So something going on with this back carb. We'll have to investigate that. Let me clean that up real quick. But she fired right up. Oh yeah. I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit and I'll be back and we'll see how it does. Well, I've been sitting there running about 10 minutes or so, and I checked temperatures on the headers. I got 2 or 3 that are like 150 degrees hotter than the rest. And then number 8 here, well, she's still lagging. Yep, 250 degrees. Watch this right here. Here's number 8 sparking plug wire. Y'all listen, you can't tell a difference. We're hitting on 7 cylinders. Could be a plug. These are them old plugs that were in the 283. They may be oil fouled. Let me go to O'Reilly's, get a timing light, set of plugs, and let's see if that helps at any end. Oh, I sure hope so. I hope we ain't got something internal going on. That's gonna suck. Just got back from Ireland. Got me some Autolite sparking plugs. Got me a brand spankingly new timing light. It's the dial back type. It's digital, but it's still dial back. Oh yeah, those are nice. That way you ain't gotta have timing tape. You just hit that button and figure out what your time it is. Let me get these put on. We'll fire the old car up again, see how it does. At least they're not oil soaked. That's a good sign. I don't know if I've showed y'all lately how you gap your plugs. What you do is you hold it up to the light. You can see daylight, but it ain't too much. It's gapped. Well, there's one spark plug changed. 7 more to go. Why are birds so dumb? You do not belong in here. Get out of here. Well, I think that dumb little bird finally figured out how to get out of this gigantic door right here. It was a wren. They built a nest in my garage over there, and the babies flew the coop first part of this week. Yep. That might have been one of them there. I don't know. Anyways, I got the spark plugs changed. Got my fancy little timing light hooked up. Let's fire it up and see if I helped it or not. Fire in the hole once more for the 4,972nd time. I've been fooling with the timing, and what I thought was true was true. I just couldn't see the mark because I'm blind. Anyway, you can see we're at 20 degrees right now. This is with no vacuum advance. It should be 12, 14 degrees. That's as low as I can go, and it still run. And I got the idle screw just about maxed out. It's because of that dead cylinder. Let me get the temp gun and I'll show you that we ain't improved nothing. Cylinder number 8. Approximately 250 degrees. That one there's 700. Next one is 650. That one there's about 500. Yes, sir. Number 8's got an issue, and I ain't got a clue what it is. I think I got a spark plug wire we can change out just to make sure. Oh, I'll tell you what. Let me get my spark plug tester and put it right there. We'll see what we got. Well, I got my little tester hooked up, the little inline spark tester. I don't know if the video will pick it up, but it's flashing. So we're definitely getting spark down to it. I thought, maybe something wrong with the wire. Ain't nothing wrong with the wire. I'm gonna shut it off, let it cool down. We'll pull that valve covered, and maybe I ain't got the valve adjusted right. Fingers crossed that's what it is. Well, I just checked the valve adjustment. I didn't see nothing wrong there. Just did a compression check just to be on the safe side. 160 psi on that. That's pretty good. The only thing left, fellas, I got a fueling issue for whatever reason on this cylinder here. Can't imagine what it could be. Let me scratch my head a little more, and maybe we can figure something out eventually. I don't know. Y'all watch this right here. I'm gonna cover this back carb. Watch the RPM on my timing light. Took my hand off just then. It's jumping up roughly 400 RPM. It wants more fuel, but my eyes are burning so bad I can't hardly see straight. I've adjusted on my idle mixture screws. Nothing helps it. I don't know, but I'm gonna say this 3-deuce manifold is gonna be the bane of my existence. Oh yeah. Here's something else I discovered when I started covering that back carb. I put my my temp gun on this number 8 cylinder, and it's being about 250 degrees. Well, it jump up to around 400-ish. Of course, it'd rev up. I take my hand off, it'd rev up just a little bit more for about a second, and then drop back down just a little bit. It would stay there about 3 or 4 seconds and drop again. Well, during all that, after I took my hand off the carb, that temp would go up another 50 degrees or so. So it is a fueling issue. I don't know what's going on though. Yep, these 3-deuce manifolds, I really hate to say it, but they may have to go. I may not be able to figure it out. I don't know. I'm gonna take a little break from it because it's getting on my nerves. Oh, and here's something else too. Let me show you. Let me get around here. Down in each one of these carbs, let me see if I can find one. You see the booster, the little round things? Well, you see that flathead screw right dead center of the screen. Well, that screw and two others holds that whole booster assembly on. That screw has a whoosher under the head of it, and then the whole thing's got a big old gasket under it. Well, all three of these are leaking around the screw, the top of it, and the gasket on the bottom. And this in here, I just saw some fuel drip out of that booster. Yep. Anyway, I'm confused because when you put your hand over this, that means you're cutting air off, meaning it wants more fuel, a richer mixture, either more fuel or less air. And I've given it that with the idle mixture screws. It did nothing. All three of the booster thingamabobs are leaking. That doesn't help. You see fuel dripping out of the booster there. That doesn't help. Main jets ain't gonna help it idle. They have nothing to do with the idle circuit. So I'm really confused right now what this thing wants. But it's getting on my nerves. I'm gonna take a break. Then I'm gonna do a little study. And I told y'all, me and carbs, I'm not good at adjusting them. So I'm gonna take a break, study, see what I can figure out. If I can't figure nothing out, we may have to pull this manifold off and just put a 4-barrel on. I don't want to do it, but I want this car on the road. Anyways, I'll be back after a while. I've had a day to do some resting and thinking, and here's what I have deduced. This back carburetor, it needs to go. Yes, sir. Bye-bye. It's been nothing but trouble since we started fooling with this. Remember on the 283, if I held my hand over it, it would idle down. Well, now on this one here, hold my hand over it and it idles up. Bye-bye. We ain't gonna fool with you no more. What I'm gonna do actually is, this is the carb that was on the 283 when it was on the run stand, and it did great. So I think what we'll do, I modified the front one and the back one over there with RT&V. I plugged a few holes up. Well, I really think the butterfly, that's about the only issue it can be, letting air come through. Let's take the base off of this carb, put it on that carb since it's already been modified, and put it back on. Hopefully that's gonna fix the issue. Y'all remember all them bent up wrenches I got sent the other day, as I showed you? The fella sent me. Look at here. I found a use for one of them. Oh yeah. This bolt right here normally takes about 6 years to get it loose because, well, this boxed end here is a lot thicker than that one, so it won't fit over the head. And then using the open end just takes forever. Yes, sir, I'm busting right through it now. Oh yeah. Let me get this off, get it swapped. Let me show y'all something while I got this carburetor device off. Remember, number 8 cylinder was basically running lean. Well, if you look down in here, I don't know how well you can see it, but in this hole here is a straight shot down this runner to cylinder 8. So it was getting pretty much all of the extra air, making it run lean. That's what was going on. Also, you see down in there, see all that liquid? Yep, that's fuel standing. Don't know why, ain't got a clue. All three of these carbs are junk. This is what you get, fellas, when you use used parts, when you do backyard butchery. You just have to deal with it. That's just all I can say. Can't afford new ones, so we just got to use what we got. Anyways, let me get this back together. Hopefully this will fix the issue. Let me show you something else too whilst I'm at it. This is the base plate off of the carb that was on the car. See that daylight around the butterflies? It's not a lot, but there's some there. Now let me show you the one that we're going to use that will hopefully fix this issue. Nary a bit of daylight showing. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let me cross them good. That's going to fix the issue. Carburetor devices have been swapped out. Let's see if we did any good. It's got a decent lope, but did y'all hear it pick up for a second or two? Still something going on. But we have made improvements because, oh yeah, That's mucho better than 250 degrees. It's still cooler than the rest of them. Still got something going on. Pretty sure it's them old worn out junk carbs. Fellas, that's the best thing to do right now. I got the idle set at 750. Timing is 15 degrees. Y'all look at this hot idle Earl pressure though. Oh yeah, it's pretty doggone good. Oh yeah. Tell you what, let me get things situated. We'll take the old girl for a drive. I got y'all a different view than normally be stuck to the windshield. Hopefully it'll be all right. Might get a little wind noise. Might be get a little rattling too with that tailgate, that trunk like it is. Let's hit the road and see how she does. I definitely fixed the hesitation. when you put the old WHOOMPOW to her, oh yeah, she got a little get up go. I'm pretty pleased with this build, but it does have a surging issue at cruise. It may be running out of gas, like I told y'all. When we get close to E, we're out. Yep. I might put a little more fuel in it after a while, take it down the road and see if that's what it was. I can do it right now because I got to get busy mowing yards before it rains. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this. I'm gonna say we still got, carb fuel issues. May never get them figured out. 3-deuce manifold. Yep, it's a pain. That's all I can tell you. Y'all might be thinking this is the last video you see of this whole car. Well, I got good news and bad news, depending on how you feel about it. We're gonna have at least 2 or 3 more videos, and here's why. I just realized yesterday, my nephew texted me. I just realized yesterday that Hot Rod Power Tour, that's in 6 weeks. I want to take this old girl, but she's in nowhere near the shape to go. Mainly the rear end, the rear gearing, it's just geared way too low. 55 mile an hour, I'm doing 2,500 RPM, it's too much. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a new rear end, new rear suspension under it. I went a couple days ago and drug this home. This is for a different project. Well, it's gonna be for the old Forte now. It's a 9-inch Ford out of a, I don't know, mid-70s Ford truck. Done some measuring and figuring and all, and I got everything figured out. I got parts coming. So next video, we're gonna put that rear end in here, hopefully get the suspension built. I'm going with coilovers, and yeah, take care of that. I'm gonna narrow it just a week. Well, I guess I should tell y'all, I got to narrow that about 6 inches. I'm gonna narrow it from this measurement about 3/4 more. 3/8 of an inch on either side. That'll give us a little more room for the tire not to rub. But yes, sir, next week, we're gonna have us a 9-inch under the old Forte. I know I keep saying 1 more video and we'll be done. I'm not even gonna say it anymore. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say 20 more videos, then we'll be done. I know some of y'all don't like it, some of you do. It's gotta be done, fellas. I told y'all I'm not gonna rush through this. I wanna do it like I want to, and well, this is just part of it. Also, we may be taking more than just this on Power Tour. You'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, hit that like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. And until next time, go do something. Blurb, blurb.